Holy smokes, it's time to go. It's time to do the show. Brody, get in here. Tell us a story. Who's watching? Fantalio, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. I'll tell you what, yesterday I ordered a chicken and an egg on the internet from Amazon. I'll let you know. We're snapping along here this morning, Astrid Media. Nice to see you. It's funny. I get a lot of flack about the snippety snap. That's okay. How you folks doing this morning? Let's get right into the show. Prime 406 games here. We got folks in the house. No time to waste. It's Tuesday. Let's do this. Goodbye, gloomy Tuesday. And all for you viewers watching at home, check out the Patreon, check out the Discord, and check out the channel. I want to thank all you folks. Anybody I missed yesterday, let me know if the Discord work links, if any one of you folks want to check it out. It's a good time. What did the vet say to the cat? How are you feline? Let's get into it. Enough of this shenanigans. Can't stand myself. Oh yeah. Good morning, folks. Each and every one of you amazing, fantastic fans of Magic the Gathering, subscribers who love the game as much as we do. Thank you so much for joining. There's a bunch of you now. There's a ton. We're growing past that 300, the mighty 300 number. It's no wonder the YouTube algorithm can't hold us back. We're moving into the future. It's going to be all right. It's going to be a little bit of fun here today. It's Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2023. Thank you, folks, for joining me, Fantalio, Prime 406 Games, Astrid Media, and for all of those of you folks watching at home. Do you like tracking the prices of Magic cards? Is there enough information out there? Or is there just too much information? Let me do it for you. I'm doing it each and every week, Monday through Friday, here on the Bro Show. Good morning, folks, amazing subscribers, beautiful people. Welcome back. All right, we got some headlines for you folks today. It was interesting listening to some folks talk over the weekend about the financial markets. How's the audio working this morning? Can't get enough. I can't get it through my phone. Discord link is working fine. All right. 4 Keeps Gaming. That's good. All right. Talking to some folks over the weekend about the banking sector. All right. There's a lot of people who have the utmost respect for the banks and the reputability of the banks and how, well, if there's any place they want to put their money, it is definitely inside a bank. But I pose to you this, folks. This is the show where we bring it all together. We tie it all together, from the prices of tracking Magic cards, the cardboard, and the fun into your collection, and the funny money that goes on in the world. The only show in the game who's ever brought you how to buy Magic cards with cryptocurrency. We're not going to talk about that today. But no matter where you are, there's definitely going to be a currency going around, some fiat money. Maybe you're in the Netherlands, coming from a land far away. Savasvend, Sofasvend is, you know what I'm saying. Maybe you're using the euro. Maybe you're using the Australian dollar. Maybe you're using the US greenback. Or up here, mile zero of the Alaska Highway, you're spending the Canadian peso or the Canadian dollar, the Mexican peso, whatever it is. No matter where you are, a nation's currency is a thing. But when you consider the game of Magic the Gathering, it goes absolutely everywhere. It's borderless. In fact, there are no borders with cardboard. Even on the internet, you can get over and get yourself some digital, intellectual, proprietary triangles and lease them. Leasees of fine internet intellectual property triangles. What I'm saying is, right now, We've got some headlines that are interesting in the financial world. Hasbro stock has actually taken a tick up in price. We've been tracking it since November. So we're going to have another look at the Hasbro stock today because it's taken a bump up in price since the first quarter earnings of this year. All right, what does that mean? Well, it means that big banks and major banks are looking for places to park their funds. While the market is in complete uncertainty, we don't know where to put our money. But there is an operation at hand, if you haven't noticed it, through the cost of inflation and the price of consumer products on the store shelf. Have you noticed when a can of Brody El Paso goes to $5 a can, would you rather it's sitting on your shelf or at the shelf in the store? This is how to beat inflation. You want to kind of have as much hard goods and wares as possible. There's also other potential stores of value, and Magic cards may or may not be considered one of them. Now, with all that being said, are you sick of getting hosed by the big fella, right? Are you sick of your dollar getting worth less and everything you go to the store going up in price? That's because it's like a new, even sets of Magic cards kind of have a finite print run, but there's no print run on the amount of money that could be printed in the world. So if you're just content to think that the banks are a safe place to put your money, go ahead. That's totally up to you. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, but what I'm trying to say is, in a way, you may want to take the matters into your own hands in one fine form or fashion and get the fun into your collection and start being your own bank. So there's a book out there. It's called Be Your Own Bank. Maybe you folks want to read it, but by the end of this month, in the very beginning of next month, the U.S. debt will reach its ceiling level, meaning there is no more money you can borrow. The GDP, the gross domestic product of the entire nation, will be leveraged at a value of approximately 120%, meaning that's the entire gross domestic product of the country, and then add 20% on top of that. So this is going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better. And we've been tracking the prices to see what that means in the game of Magic the Marketing. Magic the Marketing. Yes, we've been talking about it in a little video just a couple of weeks ago with the Magic market is set to boom, and I think it is rounding up for a really nice boom. But in the meantime, as prices continue to soften all across the reserve list and in the secondary markets and even over at the major stores, we're seeing a trickle down and a trend in price where it's going downward. That means that stores are eventually going to have to pay their large inflated gas bills, hydro bills, heat bills, electric bills, rent, food, snacks, accessories, employees' wages seem to be like the only thing that aren't going down. Are you sick of this whole big game that everybody's playing? All right, you want to get your hands on some spicy Magic cards and some good deals when the time has come? You've come to the right place. The bro is in your face. Let's do it. We've had enough. So we got some news headlines here for you folks this morning. We're going to discuss it. But before we do that, let's take a look at some AI-generated Magic cards. We got a couple of good ones here for you folks this morning. I want to warm up, make sure everything is working just fine. If you haven't been here before and you don't know how it works, we're going to rate a couple of we're going to rank them. We're going to just look at some AI-generated Magic cards. Give them a pass or a fail. Very easy. If the card is playable whatsoever, you're going to hear this sound. Oh, yeah. The dinger. And if it's no good, good for nothing, son of a bee-ha-hoozy, you're gonna hear this sound, the buzzing, cousin. That's right. All right. Without further ado, let's take a look at this. Me and you, folks. Welcome to the show. Thanks any new subscribers for joining. I like it. And hello. Bam, bam. All right, what do we got here? Second Wath, a 2819 creature. Wow, that's all right. The Lion Bank, just trust me, I'm an engineer. That's right. Check out the second wave. Savannah Lions, Savasvin, Sochasvin, Goeiemorgen and Middag. Brody's up early, bringing you folks some Magic the Gathering news, some price action, and it's a little bit of fun here this morning. What is this sucker? Circanwath. We got a 2819. That's a big boy. It's got no creature type on it. Rement for 1 red. Then shuffle. If you do, create 2 1/1 goblin tokens. I gotta fail it. We don't know what Rement is. But you know what I meant, folks? What I meant was we can build ourselves a coffee. Benson's in the house. Alan Cahoon's in the house. Michael Superbacker, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you here. What are we going to do with this magic card here? I think we might need to get rid of this. Let's get it out of here. It's no good. All right. No matter where you are at, wherever you got Brody dragging from the bumper of the car, you got me sitting on the dash next to the coffee pot. I want to thank you folks for joining me here. Check out this art on this Plains. A very nice Plains. It looks okay. I like this Plains. I think we could give this just a fine path. Give it just a minute to admire the Plains here. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Do you know what happens when people have had enough? They take matters into their own hands. And you should too. Take matters into your own hands. Take control of your financial freedom. I'll tell you. If you're a working person, it's good to have a job. It's good to contribute to society in a positive way. But if you're looking to make some good money, get good at solving other people's problems. Whatever it is you do, get very good at it. Don't give up. Sometimes it sucks to be new at something. It happens. Morning, Michael. All right, let's get some chat. Let's give this one a pass. This one seems just fine. And let's take a look at this one. Fertile Crete. Fertile Crete? I've got another one here. He only talks Dutch to me. I will, but in broken French. Prime 406. What is this? Look at I gotta do some reading here this morning. Okay, it's a Mardu. It's a black. Oh no, it's an Orzhov. A black, a white. There's no red in there. It's a black, a white, and 1 for an instant. Fertile Crete. You got all right. Look at the text on this. Look at all this text. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. You may play lands and cast spells from your graveyard. Then, that player gains control of up to 3 target players. When Fertile Crete leaves the battlefield, create a 2/2 colorless wall artifact creature token with this creature. Creatures you control get +2/+2 for as long as you control both of them. As long as enchanted creature is a mountain, prevent main phase out. Oh, I didn't think so. Nice try. Get it out of here. Sorry. Gibberish. Fertile Crete. Just a bunch of Yahoo nonsense. Bunch of nonsense. Shamonsense. Got no time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's go to another one. You gotta find something good. I'll make myself a coffee and have a little sip with you folks. The first one of the day. No matter where you are, thanks for playing. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like, so it lets people know that the bro show can grow. Guthutu's Turvant. The demon creature. No power, no toughness. Tap it, exile Guthutu Turvant, then shuffle 68. 6 mana. You shuffle 68. Brody, show these guys what we're working on and show them an art card. I could spoil a couple. I will spoil a couple here for you this morning, Brain. I will. All right. I'm going to spoil a couple cards here for you. You got 10 folks. All right, let's do it. While you feast your eyes on this. Feast your eyes on Guthutu's Turvant. I don't like this card. It's a demon. It's got no power and toughness. It shuffles 68 of your cards. Obviously in Commander. The art's pretty epic though. It's got a weird finger. It looks like he's scratching his head with a piece of ginger root or something like that. I don't know. Tuthu's turban. Let's check it out. Rainy day Brody stream. Cool. All right, let's see what let's give this card a fail. Let's get it out of here. Let's bring one more up for you folks to feast your eyes on. Let's look at this Heart Greed Sirample Mirror. This is a Centaur Shaman. I'll see what I got in my hands here. I got some of these. I got some magic cards. I do something priceless. All right. Oh, what does this say? MTG Worlds. I got a couple of magic cards here for you folks. Doing a little bit of alt art. I haven't really. If you want to check out some of the spoilers, I've put a couple of these alts on Twitter. Just a sneak peek. This is something that the thinkingest man in the game of Magic the Gathering, the Dual Brain, has cooked up for us folks. So we're doing some alters. So let me see if that comes in there. Here's a Monarch token. Guess I could bring this up. We'll make this a little bigger for you folks at home. Monarch token. Now I just got myself a real nice new box of colored pencils, so I'm pretty stoked. This one's one of my favorites. I like the way it turned out. We got the brain sitting on the throne. It's a Monarch token. It says at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, and then whenever a creature deals damage to the player with the Monarch, they become the Monarch. So this is a pretty interesting card. This is a good one. I like the way this one turned out. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. So we got the Dual Brain. A couple of altars here. Can't wait to add some color to these ones. Oh yeah, this one's funny. King, it's like Krang, eh? Yeah. This is a little Macho Bro. This is a soldier token. So I got to get my homework done, and I send these back to Mr. Dual Brain, version of the Macho Bro there. And we'll show you folks one more Krang. I love the Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's one more, a series of food tokens. Oh, the treasure token. How about this one? I like this one. We're working on, there's the King Brain with the treasure token. So we're doing a set of tokens, and if you look, set of tokens, some Monarch tokens, a couple of cool items here. I'll be shipping these back. I got to finish them all. Some collaboration work here. This one should be good. You see the brain there with all this treasure and a stack of magic cards. And my favorite treasure. Okay, I'll give you one more because this one is my favorite. This one is my favorite. This one's for you. Okay, one more. Okay, you've never seen this before in your life. I'll tell you what it is. It's a treasure token, but if you look at it, it's a BGS 11. Okay, this is a treasure token, graded magic card. Actually, it's the Black Lotus. It's the other Lotus. This is the other Lotus slab BGS 11. Because it's the first BGS 11 card of its type. Slabbed. I haven't quite finished this one yet. It's still a work in progress, but it's the other Lotus BGS 11, the highest grade for the Dual Brain channel in existence. would have been okay with a BGS 10.69. All right, but these magic cards, they go to 11, don't you know? Having a little bit of fun with that. If the AI can generate magic cards, then you can too. And the amount of folks online who are like, hey, I'm going to start proxying. If you weren't, like, I'm sort of one of those folks that was a while back. I was like, you know, I'm not big on proxies. Buy the right card, buy the real card. And then people would always kind of get after me and be like, no, Brody, like, proxies are the way to test the card before you decide you want to buy it. I know, right, Michael Superbacker? Even Michael Superbacker gives it. The BGS 11 is really good, right? It is some slab magic cards there. So all those are going to be on the way over to the Dual Brain. Ed, throw a link in the description there. But he's been giving something away for the folks over there to show a little bit of appreciation. So this is my way of participating, collaborating with one of my favorite YouTubers in the world, Big Ed, the thinking man over at the Dual Brain channel. Love that channel. Oh, okay. We'll get some cool stuff over there. You want another opinion? Ooh. Okay, so back to proxies and magic cards that are AI, right? This heart-shaped greed Serapul. We can make all the proxies we want, right? It's like, I feel like the money printing that's going on these days is just like printing money, just like proxies, right? Enough of these proxies. Heart greed Serapul mirror. Vigilance rather would die. Heart-shaped heart greed Serapul mirror has indestructible as long as it has a percentage counter on it. No, get out of here. A percentage counter. All right, I know BGS 11's really good, Michael. I know. Remove a percentage counter from Heart Greed Serapul mirror. Create a 4/2 red spirit token creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. Really? I think there's just too much mumbo jumbo on this card. We can't give it a pass. Sorry. Let's get the buzzing going, cousin. Pretty sweet, eh, Richie? Thanks, buddy. Sweet feet. Yes. Let's move on. We've got more cards to look at. Fair unplayable word salad. All right, and then one more here. Oh, there's just too many to count. Let's do this one, then we'll get on to your movers and the shakers here this morning. Abomination of the Shadowed. 5 loyalty planeswalker for 2 red and X. All right, what's it gonna be? +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. All right, a red shaman that makes zombie creatures, not bad. -1, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Just straight up fight. All right, fighting on a red card, and then -9. Abomination of Shadow deals 11 damage to each creature. Just 11, right? Because it goes to 11. Thank you very much. It goes to 11. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you may add a colorless. Neat. I actually had somebody comment on the Brody Childs video, and you know what they said? They said, lawyers don't talk that way. I have a feeling they didn't understand the Seinfeld reference. So if anybody can go over there and maybe help them out, that would be great. I don't know how many people get the goes to 11 reference. I don't know. But this is Brody Top here with your morning Magic the Gathering feed. Let's do some movers. A couple shakers here this morning. Why not? You like tracking the prices of Magic cards? Is enough information out there, or is there too much information? Let me do it for you each and every day. Let's do it. Monday through Friday. Let's hit it up. Modern was yesterday, so we got either Pauper Tuesday or Pioneer. Where's the money, Brody? Where's the money? Show me the money, Brody. Pauper. Pioneer, Pauper, Pioneer. What do you guys want to see here? Pauper or Pioneer? It's your show. We got choices. Pauper, Pioneer. The P's have it. Some pretty good ones here today. Best band ever. Spinal Tap, right? What's X in the casting cost for? It's nothing. Yeah, it's totally a MacGuffin, right? It's terrible. I don't know. It's 2 red and X, Richie. I have no idea why it's got that in there. No clue. All right, this is your movers and your shakers there this morning for May the 2nd, 2023, Star Wars week this week. We're going to do Pioneer. All right, get your votes in. Pioneer, it's a 50-50 split. We need somebody else to chime in on the love for the show here. Let's go. These are your movers and the shakers for today. Who's going to be the deciding vote? Give me one more vote and you're in. Oh, who is it? 6 votes. Give me one more vote, folks. 56. Pioneer it is. All right. Whoever just voted got the last vote. That's what we're doing. Pioneer. Congratulations. Voting, right? You know, voting's pretty cool. It's an important thing and it can solve a lot of problems at times. No doubt. Did you know there's voting in cryptocurrency? Yeah, there is. It's called network consensus. And it's a pretty interesting concept. From the fellow who brought you democracy on the internet, let's go. Movers and the shakers here this morning. I love it. Indomitable creativity. Now, this is a card. We're talking about this card here earlier this year because it was Reed Duke, professional Magic player who went all the way to the finish with the Indomitable Creativity deck in the Pioneer format, topping it off with a copy of World Spine Worm. So I have a feeling when we look at this card, we're going to see the Archon of Cruelty in decks using it. But let's take a look. It's up another 6%. Here's an awesome card from Aether Revolt that has been trending up in price and getting a lot of play. Okay, Indomitable Creativity. Let's just take a look at the Pioneer metagame because this is the show where we tie it all together. We're going to look at the modern metagame. We're going to or the Pioneer metagame, Mana Traders series. I bet you our friend Nikachu was at that one. Mana Traders, Blackcleave's Cliffs, Rakdos Aggro, Lotus Field. Let's get Brody's pencil. Rakdos, okay, so the latest one, 486 players on the 24th of April played a little bit of Magic the Gathering, come up with this Rakdos Aggro, Lotus Field, Devotion to Green, Spirit Aggro, Is It Arclight, another Lotus Field deck in mono black aggro. For some reason, the Creativity deck didn't score. It didn't even score in the top 8, but it's still hitting up some. How about the Champions Cup qualifier? I'm going to see this Indomitable Creativity. Here it is here. This was in 191 players getting 5th. So it's definitely a top 8 deck, right? That's why it's going to be up on your movers, all up in your movers and your shakers this morning. No way. Don't say bad about Dominion. Don't say anything bad about Dominion voting or they'll destroy you, right? All right, Indomitable Creativity. This is a cool card because it was a little bit underwhelming when it first got printed in Aether Revolt. But now with this like Modern Horizons 2 and the power creep that's happening, we've got this card. It seems to be pretty good and we got some decent creatures to use it with. Let's check it out. The Indomitable one. Let's Indomitable some creativity here this morning. Destroy X target creatures. Artifacts. For each permanent this way destroyed, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until an artifact creature is revealed and then exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle their library. So you get to destroy X. So you can destroy your opponent's thing if it's really good. You're not going to want to do that. What you're going to do is you're going to want to destroy your own thing. So what do you want to destroy? You're like, I need something to destroy. Using Dwarven Mine, that's the land that gets you the dwarf token, right? Also Urza's Saga, that creates that little construct token. You're not putting any other creature cards in your deck except for the one that you want to flip onto the battlefield. That's why this card's so good. Destroy X target artifact or creatures for each permanent destroyed this way. You get to reveal cards off the top. So you got to get this thing out. You got to kind of hold your opponent off for a couple of turns until you get this thing off. You got to pay it for at least 4, right? You got to pay 3 red and 1 into it so you can just keep flipping. Right, and then you got to get the Dwarven Mine on the battlefield. Look at the fun bags on this one. A pile of creativity. This one's a lot of fun. All right, Lloyd. Me and the cast of Dumb and Dumber. are gonna bring you this. Look at the chart on this. Brody just wants to put lines on charts. What kind of patterns do we have here? We were talking about stock patterns. A lot of people say they buy, like, this is the other thing. There's people who are like, I've got stocks and self-directed in my TFSA, right? They're like, I'm gonna buy my stocks out of a tax-free savings account because they think I'm smart. Like, that's I know you think that's smart, but like at the end of the day, you're still gonna wake up one day and realize you gave the bank all your money. Okay? Just so you know. Banks are on the brink of collapse. I got some more news in the finance sector coming up. So there's better ways to do it. And then it's not how those are more of the consumer products that the banking world will give you in order to sell you something that they want you to buy. It's if you are still at this stage of the game and you believe that Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, the big banks all have your best interest in mind, you're sadly mistaken. You got to take matters into your own hands here. That's why we're doing this show. We want to find the fun in our collection here. What do we got? Can you describe the most annoying sound in the world? But what if you work for a bank? What if you work for a bank? Does that give you a better deal on things? Do you pay no fees? If you work for the bank, I would say I want no fees. I want a better interest rate than everybody else, and I want to pay less. If you work at the bank, there's more online banks like Tangerine and banks that don't actually have brick and mortar that are moving into the marketplace, and that's going to disposition all the bricks and mortar banks that are out there because we have a bunch of them, and like the tellers just stand there for 6 hours a day twiddling their thumbs when it's not coffee or lunchtime, and like, what do you do with all those people? That's where your fees go. Okay, it depends on your access to your work computer. Let's check this out. Lots of copies. $30 though. Would I pay $30 for it? This seems like a fun deck to play. Okay, let's take a look at one of these decks. 5-color creativity. Let's look at this one. This is modern. It's even getting play in modern. The Archon of Cruelty, yeah, Renetsu the Planeswalker, like you'd think. An expressive iteration. RCQ 20K. This one got 4th place. 5-color Indomitable. Pretty sweet. Yo, Anger Collections is out. But what if you work for a bank? Be your own bank, but full send it. All right, let's check it. DAO functioning. See, Astrid Media knows what I'm talking about. DAO function on voting. Yes, that is consensus. You got to talk to this guy. He knows what I'm talking about. DAO, right? That's like the future of voting, I think. It's gonna be transparent. All right, let's see here. Where is Astrid? That's a good comment, Astrid. DAO, right? Second from the top, what do we got? Crucible of Worlds, a card that just seems to get more reprints. This thing will always be sought after. It's got like that Ramanap Excavator ability. That's the other option. This thing's up 6%. I want to know, you may play land cards from your graveyard. Have you ever, like, this thing used to be a lot more expensive, and there is a Kaladesh Invention version of it. How much is the Invention worth? $186 for this one. Some might say this is the nicest one, the best one, the invented one, right? This one's really sweet. $186, but now it was shifted to Mythic, right? What did it start out? Let's see. I think this thing, was it always a Mythic? 10th edition. No, it was a rare, right? It was a rare that got upshifted to Mythic. And it was expensive. In 10th edition. Let's look at the 10th edition. Let's take a look. 10th edition, yeah, it was $80 at one time, and then it got upshifted to Mythic. Look at this classic. Holy smokes, this is a crazy looking chart here. This is a seesaw. This is the 10th edition. Did they have Mythics by 10th? No. Let's see here. Let's check it out. This is the one that's seeing all the action. The Mythic edition from 2019. See, they upshifted it. But the funny thing is they upshifted it to the Mythic slot, but the price has done nothing but go down. Upshift the rarity, downshift the cost. Look at this. Sad to say, right? This is like your money. We'll just print more of it, right? All right, what else do we got here? Thalia and the Gitrog monster playing it. Have you ever lost to a Wasteland or Strip Mine lock or even a Ghost Quarter lock with this Crucible of World? It's really, really brutal. Let's look at, is this no Pioneer decks here? Okay, so let's look at Prison Shops. Prison Shops is running it with the artifact package as well as, I believe we're going to be playing the Workshop. Yeah, so you want to make 3 mana, you can drop yourself a Crucible of Worlds on turn 1. And then the Crucible, I don't see it in this one. Here, two of them, Crucible. And what land are you going to be nuking? You're going to be using that to, you get the Wasteland lock. Another soft lock you can use is to use the Ghost Quarter. That's the one that lets you search, or your opponent search, or you can Field of Ruin so that you both get to search, which seems a little bit decent in Commander. So like the Crucible of Worlds, let's just take a look and see if there's any top decks playing it. Search. Let's go. Legacy lands. Vintage Legacy Commander. Vintage Legacy Dual Commander. All right. Fair enough. The Crucible, it's on the Pioneer list because it's upshifted to Mythic and it's a reprint. So, I mean, it's not in Pioneer. Richie Dubs, the Gitrog deck plays Crucible with Strip Mine, Wasteland, and all the extra land drop enablers. Let's check it out. The Gitrog deck does? This is a cool deck, man. This is the new Thalia Gitrog monster. Ah, yes. Bastion, Exploration, Feldegar Retreat. Oh, for some landfall? Disgusting. Bounty of Promenade, Canopy Vista. Where's the land destruction package? Where is it? Castle of Ardendale, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Gavany Township, Haunted Mire. This might just be a bad deck list, right? Shards of Alara was the first set to get Mythic. Second set was with PWs. Came after Lorwyn, where all 5 OG PWs were introduced. Planeswalkers. Upshift the print run, downshift the quality, need more profit. Oh yeah. Crucible of Worlds, Terror of the Peaks. I actually liked this card. This was a decent card. I forgot about the 5/4. $37. Spells your opponent's cast that target Terror of the Peak cost 3 life to cast. And then whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So he just like Fire Breeze on a stick. Pretty good. This would be a good list poll. I enjoy the list polls. Anyone else? It's when you get a good one. I enjoy getting a good list poll. $37.80 for this. The Terror of the Peaks. Let's check out the chart. Anything decent happening on the charts here? It's Pioneer, eh? Strixhaven. This is a pretty, like, just smooth chart. Yeah, I could see this guy even going higher. Why not? Definitely. It's like, it's on its like second leg up. right? Since Kaldheim and Strixhaven, and then New Capenna come to about here, and then it's on its second leg up. $37. Well, let's look at some decks using it. Any decks using it? The Dragon, of course. This Kalia the Vast deck, I keep seeing it on Twitter. People keep posting this Kalia the Vast. There's complaints about like this card, Human Cleric. Why does the human have wings? I guess that was the question. Kalia the Vast. I don't know. But this was the question. It's a human cleric, but there's wings. So why does the human have wings? I don't know. Good question. Any other versions of it? Yeah, there's other versions of it. Where is it? Double Masters. Commander's Arsenal. This one. I guess this is the online promo. Wings again. Human Cleric. Why the wings on the human? I don't understand. I'll have my revenge. We'll have to ask somebody who knows about lore. We'll have to do a lore check. MTG Gaming Bob, good morning. Elder Galgaroth. Even more busted that he is not legendary. This Terror of the Peaks isn't legendary? No, it's mythic. Okay, decks using it. The Dragon, Miriam Sentinel Worm, Kalia the Vast, Itali, the new Itali deck. Right? Holy smokes. Yeah, that seems good. When Itali enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top until they exile an online card. You may cast spells from among them this way without paying their mana cost. So if you like, you can flip the Terror. If you flip a creature, let's just like, yeah, so you get to exile one of their creatures with Itali, and if you have the Terror of the Peaks, if it enters, the Peaks deals damage. If you flip the Peaks, it deals damage. If you have multiple Terror of the Peaks, this is disgusting with Itali. This is really good. Holy smokes. Throw in Helm of the Host on Terror of the Peaks. Why can't I burn a flame elemental to death? Exactly. Like a bird in a plane engine. How high does the bear crew a ship? How does a bear crew a ship? I don't know. It flies into the 12/12s. Eyeballs, right? Crazy. Terror is really good. Terror of the Peaks, really nasty. Good card. Holy smokes. Hot fire. All right, let's go to the next. That's a good card. So Terror of the Peaks, $37 for a newer format. Like it's like this is like Pioneer is like Gen Z, right? Modern was like it used to be like Modern, but now Modern's becoming more and more like, I don't know, a format for old fuddy-duddies. No, it's just becoming more of like an eternal format. I mean, I guess everything ends up in Modern anyway. That's new and from Standard, but like, unless it's really good, it's not going to change the Standard or the Modern metagame. But like Pioneer, it's definitely got some interesting dynamics to it, with the fact that like the cards are all newer and they're still like 30. I thought it would be a lot cheaper because the cards are from newer sets, but it's not. It's actually seemingly like it could be expensive. Polyraptor. Okay, this is a good card. Any of the dinosaurs, and I'll say this here, any of the dinosaurs, like I would say it's probably a decent idea to go through and like make a list of dinos that you want prior to the release of any of the new Ixalan, when we go back to Ixalan, because there could be some decent hits. This Polyraptor might get a reprint too. So we might get a reprint of some dinosaurs. We might get some more dino support. But like if some of the big name mythics like Gishath don't get reprinted, or Zakama, the Primal Calamity, if those two specifically don't get reprinted when we go back to Ixalan, they're going to go up a lot in price because people are expecting maybe a reprint on them. This card's no different. Polyraptor, something else within Rage. I know I've said it here 37.5 times. Oh, Benson says he's got something for us. Good morning, Solar God. Some Kalia lore for us. Why does Kalia have wings if she's a human? I gotta figure this out. In Rage, this is the Polyraptor, 8 mana. See, it's not very good because it costs you 8 mana. I think it should be more like 6 or 7, but 8 mana is a lot. If it's 8 mana, it should win you the game. Because then you still got to deal damage to it. You still got to trigger it. But this card's 23 bucks. It's Pioneer legal. I don't know how many people are playing Dinosaurs and Pioneer, but it doesn't seem like too bad of an idea. Polyraptor dealt damage. You get a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. So another card off the bottom 10, like I know that I talked about, and I think I know what you're going to say. You're like, Brody's going to mention Sorrow's Path again. All right, but I mentioned that just the other day. But if you want to get some fun in your collection, get this card. Just pick it up. This card here. We're talking about dinos. We're talking about going back to Ixalan. We're talking about cards that are going to get printed again or maybe not printed again, and Dinosaur getting more support and the Enrage mechanic. Look at this card from Alliances. This card is going to cost you 99 cents. $1 to get this. It's reserved list. It's from Alliances, and it's really friggin' good if you ask me. It goes with Dinosaurs. In a Dino deck, it's even on color. It's green, okay? It's 2 green and 2 for this enchantment that says you get to pay a green and 2. Splintering Wind does 1 damage to target creature. All right, there you go. It just does that right there. Okay, but it gets better than that. It gets better than that. So you get an enchantment for 4 mana, and then you can pay 3, and you can do 1 damage to target creature. Maybe one of your dinosaurs within Rage. Okay, and then put a Splinter token into play. What? So you do a damage, and then you get a Splinter token, and then you treat it as a 1/1 green creature with cumulative green creature with flying and cumulative upkeep 1 green. So you got to pay 1 for it each turn and pay another the next turn. So this thing's not going to be around very long. But the thing is, you can trigger this on your opponent's turn to make 1/1 green flyers that block incoming attackers. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. You can do it at instant speed or anytime you can activate a enchantment. And then if this token leaves play, meaning you chump block with it, it deals 1 damage to you and each creature you control. So again, you pay 3, you do a damage to each creature, or you do damage to target creature, and then you get the token, and if it dies, you do another damage to each creature, each one. So that is going to help trigger your that is going to proc your Polyraptor might. Yeah, you proc that really proctor, your Sun Crown Hunters, proc your Polyraptors, proc your all sorts of dinos, and more dinos. There's a million ways to play it, but that's one of my favorite ones for 99 cents. Gishas, Sun's Avatar, Zakama, the Primal Calamity. I can't wait to see once we get an Itali. I mean, are we going to get an Itali deck? Maybe Itali's going to be a commander, mono red dinosaur commander. I don't know, but it could possibly be. It's an 8 mana 5/5 bulk. Kalia. I'll get some fandom. Thanks for that link, Benson. I'm gonna definitely check it out after the stream. Good morning, Solar God. Nice to see you here this morning. Pleased to have you with us. Polyamorous Raptor needs to be made into an AI card. Polyamorous Raptor, this little buster. I play one in Glissa. Nice. All right, so all these decks using it. Let's take a look at the chart on this Polyraptor. A sleeper from Ixalan, right? This is definitely a sleeper card. Check it out. It's never been higher. It's trending. It's trending, my friends. Look at it go. It's moving up in price. Ixalan, 1 leg up. And now a smooth leg up here. We got a little bit of a sort of a cup and handle pattern happening just about right here. Oop, that's not the one. Brody, get your pencil. Let's go. This is sort of looking like it could be a little cup and handle. I think we might see a little bit of a pullback, and this thing could keep going. Now, chances are this could get a reprint in Ixalan. If it does, we're definitely going to see some softening in the price action. And so hold on to your hats. Give me a comment in the comment section below. Is there any, you guys got any speculations? What dinosaurs are you guys folks going to want to see to pick up before we go back to Ixalan? $23 for the Polyraptor. It's a good mythic to open. And for like a time when Magic was costing about $85 a booster box and there weren't set boosters and draft boosters and all these different types of boosters, there was just like one box of Ixalan. Ixalan, really good set. Really, it was really good. I can't wait to see how they're going to print it this time with all the extra variants. Brazen Borrower from Throne of Eldraine. This card's been hanging in there for like $12.88. It was a lot higher. I think it was higher. It was almost $20 at one time. Yeah, $20-$30. Let's check out the chart on it. Brazen Borrower seems to be holding in there, but with like the thing is with power creep, this is when it hit $20-$30 and a lot of people were playing it for tempo. Actually a decent card. The only thing that I kind of has a downside with the Brazen Borrower is that I don't like is it can't bounce a land. So I find a lot of decks where I wanted to bounce something. I'd far prefer a copy of Boomerang. Yeah, I said it. A straight up Boomerang. Because when you're playing against Tron, to try and slot this into a modern deck, I know we're talking Pioneer, but like there is, I think there's Tron and Pioneer. Is there, isn't there? Is it? Yeah, but it doesn't bounce the Tron land. And like when you just need to flicker one Tron land in order to keep your opponent off Tron for 1 or 2 turns, the not being able to bounce the land ability with Petty Theft seems bad. Okay, I've been nerfed on a few times and I'd rather like Obero, Palace in the Clouds, or I'd far sooner have, is there a Tron in Pioneer? I don't know. Lotus Field. It's not in there. No, it's not. But modern. So I've never played this card in Pioneer, as you can tell. I've played this card in Modern. Let's see if people are using it in Pioneer. Any decks using it? Oh yeah, there's one here. Mono Blue Spirits. Crashing Footfalls, Murktide, Living End, Is It Delver, Rogues, 8 cast. Let's check it out. Mono Blue Spirits. There's no, somebody needs to make a Tron deck in Pioneer. Pioneer has jumped the shark when there's a Tron deck, right? Happy birthday, Brody. Thanks, Robert O'Brien. It's my 1-year Twitter anniversary. Yeah, I got that notification yesterday. It's a 1-year anniversary on Twitter. I think that's what he's talking about. Let's check this out. Mausoleum Wanderer. Here's a card that was actually really good from Eldritch Moon, I think it is. This card was decent. Yeah. This 1/1. So Spirits is playing it. 2 copies of the Brazen Borrower for tempo. See, it's the Petty Theft that you need. And this is why I thought like the Fairy Mastermind was maybe not going to be as good as Ledger Shredder. It's the tempo that you need, that you gain from the Brazen Borderer. It puts your opponents behind 1 turn for sure. That's cute. Thanks, I'll take it, Brian. I hate Spirits in Pioneer. I don't like losing to Spirits too. Card is good tempo. It is good tempo. Nice to have you with us. Tommy Siddons, keeping Brody honest here this morning. I love it. All right. Thanks, buddy. So this is the 3/1. It's also a 3/1 flyer. So it can't block, which is kind of another downside to it, but it can finish games. Like playing this in a turns deck. I've played it in Azorius turns. I've played it in Dimir turns. It's a threat. It can actually win games, and I've even thrown it into like Fires of Invention deck or a few other modern decks where I've experimented with it in like a 1 of or a 2 of. The 3/1 beater, if you can like put a piece of equipment on it, it gets even more threatening. Decks using it, the only one in Pioneer that we've got is the Mono Blue Spirits, probably just splashing it for a little bit of tempo. The Brazen Borrower. Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy. All right, let's take a look at Kinnan. Human Druid. 2/2. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. So your darks get a little bigger. As a Simic card, pay 5 and 2. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them into the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of any or in a random order. Mythic Kinnan. This is definitely a legacy card, or sorry, a commander card. Why is this card getting so popular? Look at the spiking on it. Is there any decks? Explorer, Asurek combo? Explorer's playing it. Kinnan. Not Kinnan and Mox Amber is gross. Let's see here. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add a mana of it. Okay, so then all of a sudden it adds 2. Mox Amber taps for 2 of any color. Yeah, that's actually really good. So Ikoria has made Mox Amber even better. All right, well, let's keep going. Kinnan, Awakening Sun's Avatar. This is another Ixalan card. Why is this one seeing a tick up in price? This is the 8 mana 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creature. Oh, yes. I would say this is a decent pickup. Decent card. If we don't get this again in our return to Ixalan, this card's going to definitely be worth something. It's $7 or $8 now. Yeah. It was really good in standard and limited, because if you were playing Dinosaur Tribal, it got you where you wanted to be. Basalt Monolith and Kinnan is infinite? Really? Pay 0, add 2, seems good. Basalt Monolith, Kinnan is infinite mana. Let's see. So that makes 4. Oh yeah, and then you can just untap it. Really? Basalt Monolith? Let's see here. Murray Cooper. How you doing, buddy? Let's look at Basalt. How much is it to untap Basalt? 3. Tap 3, tap to add 3 colors. This mana doesn't untap. You may pay 3 to untap it. So yeah, you Kinnan with Basalt Monolith just makes you all the mana, right? Okay, Awakening Sun's Avatar. I'm gonna go have to dig through my collection, because I know I opened this and I was thinking about it at the time when Ixalan was around. This is why it's good to hold on to your cards, right? What isn't broken with Basalt Monolith? Yeah, seems okay. Let's check it out. Coming in right after this is the Hollowed Moonlight. Awakening Sun's Avatar, a sleeper card from Ixalan. How many cards we got on the set from Ixalan? There's 2 on your movers and the shakers here today. The Polyraptor and the Awakening Sun's Avatar. We're heading back to Ixalan in the this year, I believe. So hold on to your Triceratops horns, folks. Until end of turn, if it this is from Origins. This Hollowed Moonlight, 2 mana, an instant. Until end of turn, if a creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead, draw a card. It needs to have, yeah, I guess it's like Containment Priest with an instant. It draws a card and replaces itself. Creatures of darkness instinctively hide from the light. This is a decent card. 722. Let's look at the foil multiplier. Holy Lloyd, look at the cost on this one. $57 for this one. Good creativity hate. Weave has come full circle. That's a fact. Wow. Hollowed Moonlight, very nice. Caverns of Ixalan is gonna be fun. I'm also stoked about the Wilds of Eldraine. Dr. Timmy's here. Thanks for joining us. Cool card. Cool comments. Good morning, Garth. Good morning, Mrs. Thomas. Good morning, Richie Dubs. Caverns of Ixalan is going to be fun. I'm stoked about it. Wilds of Eldraine, yes. I think we're going to get some stuff. I'm reserving myself. I'm going to try and just stick to the pre-release kits. I really am. We're not out of the woods yet. I got some news articles for you folks here to read too. So let's, this Hollowed Moonlight is some dang good creativity hate. It's amazing how, like, when a deck rises to prominence, like this creativity does, especially in Pioneer and Modern, it's interesting how the sideboard tech also moves up in price. It makes sense. Some good tech. So you can be either trying to be capitalize on the counter tech, the counter magic. Selesnya Angels playing it. All right, and then the next one here, Cavalier of Gales. This is another Cavalier card. This card is flying. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 3, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Draw 3, put back 2 against its brainstorm on a creature. Garth might be watching, however. This is really his wife. LOL, not Mr. Thomas. Okay, good to know. Because sometimes I don't know. With all the reprint policies, I'm excited about anything Wizards is. I'm not excited about anything Wizards is printing, and the variants and overprinting and rises prices and the Pringles are also a huge turnoff. All right, so we're gonna talk about. Have you guys ever heard of a corporatocracy? That is the question. A corporatocracy. Good word. Good word. You're like, Brody, where do you come up with these words? You must have made this up. No. Everyone says no. I have no idea what a corporatocracy is. We're living in a corporatocracy. Cavalier of Gales. All right, let's see here. Elemental Knight. I like the fact it's also a knight. It's a 5/5 knight, so it's really big. Look at the friggin' chart on this. Let's check this out. Let's scroll this back. Let's go. Wow. This sucker. Somehow I won. Gotta go later, Brain. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Isn't that just like an oligarchy? Guess again. All right, let's keep going. Cavalier, there's Brawl, historic Brawl. Is anybody even playing Brawl anymore? This card. Cura Behemoth Beckoner, Cavalier of Gales. No one cares about the Cavalier of Gales. Tamio the Field Researcher, another card from Eldritch Moon. Let's see, 4 mana Planeswalker, a blue, a white, a green, and 1. Gets you a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Why is this on the movers and the shakers list today? Tamio, okay, it's banned. Choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. Tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap set. Ooh. And then -7, draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. Really? Tamio the Field Researcher? This is really busted. -7. Draw 3 cards. Holy smokes. And then you just cast anything. This is a ton of text on this card. Is anyone playing Tamio the Field Researcher? This seems like a really, really good card. So it's 4 mana. The +1, you get to choose up to 2 target creatures. And until your next turn, whenever they deal combat damage, you draw a card. So a couple of your opponent's creatures are yours if you're on the aggressive. If you're on the defense, nobody's going to want to attack you because you're going to be drawing extra cards. And if they attack you across the table, then you're still going to get a benefit. -2, so you can +1 it right away and then sort of protect itself. -2, you tap up to 2 target creature permanents. They don't untap during the controller's next untap step. So -2, it can go down to, it protects itself really well. And -7, draw 3 cards. And then you get an emblem that says you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. Just straight up cast them, right? This is really good. Seems like a commander card. Historic Brawl. I don't know if anybody's playing the Field Researcher in here, but it seems okay. Cameo. All the Wrench people in Pure MTG have channels. The Wrench lets us post links in the chat. Astrid. The Wrench mean those people are mods. For a great time. We get privileges. Yes. Anybody got to check out the channel? All right. Yeah, the Wrench guys can post mods. They can also ban people if they. I think they can also kick people out of the chat. There's like it's like the 300. There's like this wrench wielding thugs. Those are my Pinkertons. Okay, don't mess around. I guess. So, I got some news articles for you folks here today. Let's check this one out Okay, so let's just take a quick look at the price of Hasbro stock. I got a couple of different articles for you folks tuning in the world. Have you ever heard of a corporatocracy, right? Some people say they never heard of it. What is a corporatocracy, right? Let's look that up. Let's see if the Google even know corporatocracy. Then I'll give you my rendition on it. A corporatocracy. An economic and judicial system controlled by corporations and corporate interests. The concept has been used in explanations. It's not for capitalist economies and corporations. Yes, it's the concept has been used in explanations of bank bailouts, excessive pays for CEOs, as well as complaints such as the exploitation of national treasuries, people, natural resources, and has been used by critics of globalization, sometimes in conjunction with criticism of the World Bank, blah, 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 blah. Corporatocracy. Some people never heard of it, right? So it's like right now we're drawing closer and closer to the end of the month. And if you haven't heard of it already, if you've been living under a rock, I guess the debt ceiling level is like supposed to reach $130 trillion by the first of next month by June 1st. So if Daddy doesn't get a bigger credit card for the whole country, and the United States, then the whole, there's going to be a collapse, right? Essentially, they won't be able to pay their debts because the debt service ratio is 120% of the gross domestic product of the nation. And why do I care? Well, I'm living up in Canada and I'm part of the country that borders the largest undefended border in the entire world. Our major trading partners with the people to the south. Plus, I love those people. I love all people from the south. It's like there's so many great people that I've met. So I care about it, and we share a continent together in this Western world. So we have big ties to banks, and some people, this is why when I hear people talking about, oh yeah, my investments are secure because I trade through the bank, and banks can't fail. It's like, yeah, they can. Banks are failing all the time. If you're living under a rock and you don't remember 2008 and 2009 when the banks got when the bank got bailed out, it's an interesting world we're living in. So pay attention. By the end of the month, we're going to have some more news on that. Now, what's happening is corporate wise, Hasbro is a corporation like any other, and these big banks are going to be looking for places to put their money and to buy shares. Okay, where are we going to buy shares? If you're a big bank, you're an investment bank, you're an investment firm. If you're selling shares to people who people are buying shares of Hasbro without even knowing that they're buying it, and this is how it happens. You go into the bank. And you can they're called tranches. If you want to go in and you say, give me some, I want to invest through my TFSA and I want to buy some stocks, because they'll look at you and this is why they call them brokers, because they make you broker, right? They'll look at it and they'll say, well, we've got high risk, low risk, and medium risk. I'll tell you what, this A, B, and C, or this high risk, medium risk, and low risk are all the same, except the only difference is if you look at it, the percentage of return that the person selling you the fund is almost identical. They make the same amount of money whether or not your fund performs well or not. And then right off the top, even if you're making money, if your whatever the heck they sold you goes up in price, they're taking commission right off the top, and then they send you your statement, and you don't see the commission that they took off. They just send you your statement, and they're like, here's your statement, your fund did really well this month. And then like they took money off of it first and then gave you the statement. And it's the same whether it lost money. They take their cut first, and then they're like, okay, well, either way, if you lose money or you make money, they're getting paid. Okay, so it's gamified. It really is. The only people who can win at stuff like that is the banks, and the only people who can win in the world of and that's the thing, is whether it's high, medium, or low risk depends on the ratings of the stocks that they put in them. And then like this is why, like, you could just be like, oh yeah, I'm in a low risk fund, it's only blue chip companies. Have you sit down and read the prospectus to know what's in there? There could be Hasbro stock in there. It could be. And that's why this rating that comes out every quarter is so important to a company like Hasbro, because they need that rating, because it's going to give more confidence and more impetus, and more like the brokers that are out there like collecting your hard-earned money, trying to talk you out of it at the bank. They're like, oh yes, you're going through uncertain times, you need to invest and put some money away. And it's essentially just saying, give us your money, right? Because like we don't want you to have any of it, right? Get your hold on. It's like, hey, can I, you know what, you can just like, I'll just hold on to your magic cards for you, and like when you want them, I'll you can just, I'll give you a proxy, right? So let's look at the Hasbro receiving an upgraded rating after an unexpected earnings report. And in the midst of the perplexing market, Hasbro has received a recent business bustiness. Has received a recent bustiness as StockNews.com upgraded the toy company from a sell rating to a hold rating in their latest report. This comes after Hasbro's quarterly earnings date was released on April 27th, which revealed some unexpected numbers and we know now that it's due to high sales. And I don't understand how sales of Modern Horizons 2 make its way into the third quarter, but it could be that the print run ended, and then that's when it sort of pushes it into that quarter. But the company reported an EPS of 1 cent for the quarter. That means like 1 penny per share will be paid on the dividend, missing the expected consensus estimate by 4 cents. Hasbro's revenue for the quarter was 1,000 million. Okay, a trillion? A billion? Yeah, no, it's $1 billion compared to analysis expectations of 883 million, making it higher than anticipated. While these numbers may not have stood up to investor expectations, it's crucial to consider that other factors may have influenced these results. As businesses to continue to navigate uncertain economic climates amid global supply chain disruptions and other shenanigans, many companies have been experiencing unforeseen hurdles. However, despite these results being down 14% compared to the last quarter of the prior year when Hasbro has posted, still managed a net margin of 3.47% return. So I'll tell you, some folks actually made money during this supply chain distribution. The people who are holding on to plexiglass and, manufacturers of safety and medical devices, they were making corporatocracy, folks. The corporations are making big money. It's all just to try and talk you out of your money. Okay. Equities research analysis and forecast that Hasbro will post earnings per share of $4.38 for the current year. Hence, investors may want to hold on to their stocks for now rather than undertake any drastic measures without consolidating promising future prospects. In conclusion, while these changes may not be enough to cause an outright jubilation amongst investors holding up for fruitful returns for their shares from Hasbro, it provides reassurance that the company is making steady strides towards attaining its goals, even amid unprecedented challenges encountered by industry worldwide. I'll have you know that these major news media outlets, like, it's all like, this is the thing, the favoritism from once you realize that the news media and the banking system, it's all connected. Like, if you want to sell stocks, like you got to chime it in on all areas. Okay. Oh, here's this guy. The U.S. may default on June 1st without a hike in debt, without a significant hike in the level of debt. All right, so by the end of the month, we're going to have this debt ceiling level increase because the amount of spending that's going. We got the same problem here in Canada. Okay, the unequivalated spending. It's just driving the prices of everything up so that like it's almost impossible to keep up with the Jones. I mean, you go to the grocery store, it's like $50-$60 for a bag. I used to be able to fill like at least a couple bags for that. Used to be able to buy a couple of boxes of Magic cards for $200 or $300. Now you get one, and it's almost like Magic the Gathering is like a currency. It's like a cardboard. It's like a bill. They're like printing like these Ragavans, these $1,000 Ragavans that go straight to print, and then they're like, it's like printing $1,000 bills. $1,000 bills. All we have to do is talk the consumers on the other hand into handing over their hard-earned money, so that you go to work and they act like a large vacuum cleaner to suck up as much wealth all around the world and move it up into the hands of bankers and so up, and it all filters up, right? So it's like a filtering up. That's why like buying cards on the secondary market, going on to TCG Player and supporting small vendors like Anger Collections, even buying stuff over on eBay from individuals who are working hard. Try not to get myself, be wary of the corporatocracy and how much, like what brands you're buying and directly from those people. I'm usually waiting to see, like, it all comes, like, if you want the hotness and if you're bandwagoning in Magic the Gathering, you're chasing, right now, MagicCon Philadelphia, I think, or Minneapolis is the next one. There's like people, and this is how bad it is. There's people on Twitter who are internet bums. And they're like bumming on the internet to raise money because they want to go play Magic. But it's like, rather than get a job, I'll just like go on the internet and panhandle to go play a hobby, right? So like if you're out there and you're working and you're like doing the best that you can to put cardboard on your table, good for you. Keep doing that. It's the good fight. I'm doing it too. Let's just wrap it all together here, because I got another interesting article that I really want to bring to you folks today. It's going to be good. Where are we here? Got one more article that I thought was really funny. All right, this is the one that it's funny when they talked about the deal with Mattel and the branding that was going together. We did a poll here on the show. We exercised our voting rights and we started to do a mashup of all the different Mattel brands and the Hasbro brands that we could think about. And I think we came up with, like, we wanted Play-Doh. What was it? Does anybody remember? I think we wanted a Play-Doh combined with, I know it was Play-Doh. But what's the point of Universes Beyond if we don't get Barbie MTG cards? All right. Yeah, here's an article for anybody who hasn't tuned in already. Oh, geez. Yeah, right. And I'll tell you what, I called it here on the show. As soon as that Mattel Hasbro merger happened, we did the poll here on the channel and we said, which proprietary brands do you want to see a mashup together and what it's going to come? And I think it was Play-Doh and something else that rose to the top. You have to go back and check out the stream, but that was definitely one of them. And this is like the Barbie Monopoly, and then we're going to get the mix up between Transformers and Matchbox cars. And then this is the next thing that somebody put up and says, what is the point of Universes Beyond if we don't get Barbie Magic the Gathering cards? So we got like some like prototypes here of the Barbie, and then the Kens here. Like, this is some possibilities. Earlier this week, Hasbro and Mattel revealed that they were joining forces for a series of crossover products
to tie into their various movie properties. There's going to be a Barbie Monopoly, Transformers Hot Wheels, and likely much more in the works. With all this conglomerate toy monolith cross promotion going on, there's one thing I really want to see. We need a Barbie Magic the Gathering cards. Barbie isn't about a character. Barbie is everything. So there's a Universe Beyond that was introduced in 2021 to bring a series outside of Magic the Gathering cards. So like that opens the door. If we can do The Walking Dead and we can do any of this other stuff, there's no limit to what we can do. And if you think that they're not already working on this, you're probably kidding yourself. Since then, we've had everything from the fairly well-suited Lord of the Rings, Warhammer 40k, to a slightly more out there brands like Fortnite and Street Fighter. It's been constant debate within the community whether many feeling the game's own aesthetic and identity will be lost if Gandalf suddenly gains trample and kills Pickle Rick. To an extent, this is true. It's a bummer knowing lots of the best cards from Warhammer 40k decks or the upcoming Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth will never be printed in Magic Universe's form. I don't particularly want to run a Necron in on my otherwise Necron-less deck. After all, so far every crossover has been heavily nerd adjacent. Stranger Things, Warhammer, Lord of the Rings, and even Fortnite, they're all things that consumer research-driven archetype Magic the Gathering player would enjoy. As a result, feeling safe, upcoming crossovers with Doctor Who, Final Fantasy, and Assassin's Creed all fall within that range. Barbie is different though. As the mascot of one of the biggest toy companies in existence, Barbie in Magic would be surprisingly radical. It takes a bright pink hammer to the mostly masculine, nerd-friendly image Universe Beyond has been building up. Barbie on the table would be a bold statement that shows Magic can and should explore all kinds of aesthetic and genres. Barbie crossover would appeal to the same way a recent 90s Binary Experience Secret Lair did. We reviewed that one, and it's surprisingly, it was kind of meh. Which reimagined various cards in this gaucha, Liz Frank inspired mess of colors. Sometimes I don't want to play with a blood-soaked barbarian or a variant knight. Sometimes all I want to do is throw down a sparkly pink Goreclaw Terror of Qualsisma and use that hyper-vibrant sugar rush of a card as a way to make my mark on the table. That's what Barbie is after all, and a statement of celebration of hyper-femininity in a market usually dominated by the likes of G.I. Joe, action men that grew up in a statement from Magic the Gathering. Let's face it, what most male audience desperately needs is pink. Good femininity isn't. What do you think? Do you guys think we should be getting some? Do we want to get some? That's enough of this. Okay, that's enough of this that's enough for one day. Bringing it to you here. There's obviously other people entertaining this possibility, and it's pretty funny. Last article for you folks today. Okay, one more. That's a good one, right? I'm really sorry I had to show you that. There's no unseeing it once you see it. There's no unseeing it. Let's take a look. We got one more decent article for you folks here today. I want to all right, one more. Magic the Gathering, everything we know about the Doctor Who Commander decks. Doctor Who. Bob, you still on there? New Planeswalker Ken Monger of the Vapid. Yes, right? What do we know? All right, everything we learned at Magic the Gathering's Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth sneak previews, and every so often Wizards of the Coast releases sets and cards from Magic the Gathering that can't legally be played in most formats from the get-go, but add a lot of fun into their own special bubble. Some examples of these are sets in the Unglued and the Warhammer 40k, which was part of Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond. The second is a set to be released from Magic the Gathering Universe Spawn this year, the Doctor Who crossover. Not much is currently known about the upcoming Commander set, but it's sure to bring plenty of interesting cards utilizing the series' long list of monsters and the different Doctors, along with comparisons, companions, and locations. So what we know about the Doctor Who Commander decks. For those that don't know, Doctor Who is a British sci-fi series starting all the way back in 1963. We follow Doctor and their companions as they travel in the Tandies through time and space on an adventure, usually taking down an evil villain or a monster or saving the day. With this crossover, we're getting 4 commander decks and secret layers. Oh, surprise, surprise, we're getting more secret layers. Each commander deck will be filled with cards from the TV series, from locations presumably including different planets to monsters, most likely including the Daleks of the Master. Ooh. The cards themselves will be a mix of cards already printed with Doctor Who theme, added two entirely new cards. Doctor Who of Magic the Gathering cards. So far, we only have the artwork for 5 cards. We have a Plains card, which is some beautiful artwork of the Tardies in a desert area. Therefore, is also a reprint of the white-blue card Fractured Identity, and the new artwork being the 4th, handing out some jelly beans. This guy here. We don't know what yet this is going to be. The other 3 pieces of artwork are all for new cards. They're named the 11th Doctor, Galfrey Stands, and the Fugitive Doctor. When will the crossover be released? Well, there's no exact date for it when the new cards will be released, but it's confirmed that there will be a release in Q4 of 2023. So October, November, December. So sometime in October. This means that they will be able to get their hand on these release cards somewhere in the next month. A lot of people are speculating will be November, and that is when Christmas special episodes of the TV show will be released. It is also scheduled to be released before the Lost Caverns of Ixalan set, which is also released towards the end of the year. So if you like what you see here from the Doctor Who, it should be kind of interesting to see what comes of it. And if it'd be nice if we could get some more leaks, like, wouldn't that be interesting if there was some more Magic cards leaked? All right. So for you, those who don't know, what else we got here? I'm going to leave you with this one. Link in the description below. For those of you who don't know who Jackie is, I'm just going to leave you with this one.
So, my friend and I, we were going to the movies, and we stopped off and bought this cafe latte.
Mm-hmm. What is that, like Italian coffee?
Yeah, that's right.
Half milk, half coffee?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You take a sip?
Yes, I did.
Now, when you took a sip, did you notice it was hot? Were you able to sip it in your normal fashion?
No, I wasn't able to sip it in my normal fashion.
Mm-hmm. All right, all right. You take big sips?
Well, I think I take a normal sip.
Okay, you take normal sips, nothing wrong with that. Then what happened?
Well, they don't allow outside drinks in the movie theater, so I had to put it in my shirt and sneak it in.
Yeah, see, they like to sell their own coffee.
Yeah. Now, is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for them. This is a clear violation of your rights as a consumer. It's an infringement on your constitutional rights. It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous.
It's definitely preposterous.
So, then what happened?
Well, I was trying to get to my seat, and I had to step over someone, and I kind of got pushed, and it spilt on me.
Was there a top on it?
Yeah.
Did you put the top on, or did they put the top on for you?
They put the top on.
And they made the top. You didn't make the top, did you? Susie, I want you to go down to Java World. Get me a cafe latte with a top. We're going to run some tests on that top.
Wow.
Have you been to the doctor?
No, I haven't.
Susie, call Dr. Bison. Set up an appointment for Mr. Kramer here. Tell him it's for me.
So, what do you think, Mr. Charles?
Jackie.
Jackie, I mean, we got a chance?
Do we have a chance? You get me one coffee drinker on that jury, you going to walk out of there a rich man.
Folks who love this game as much as we do, that clip is especially for my cousin Jimmy. I thought it was funny to read the comment sections the other day. It was a good time. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, hit me up in the Hit up the video about the upcoming major Magic the Gathering lawsuit and leaks. Brody's got a take on it. Get yourself, if you found, this is for you, if you found yourself being shaken up and shaken down by Pinkertons, have you come into some controversial Magic the Gathering product? Call the perfect attorney, Brody Childs, at 1-855-BRO-DEEE. That's 1-855-BRO-DEEE. If Wizards of the Coast is sending agents to your door to disrupt your day and take your Magic cards back, as a part of the corporatocracy that is Hasbro, comes to your door and is muscling you up, lawyer up with the perfect attorney. You don't want to miss a thing. I want to thank you folks for joining me here today. It's been a slice. And if you say it thrice, it will be nice. This is your friend Brody. Thanks again for all you folks for tuning in here on the the show this morning. It's Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2023. Thanks for joining me here. Check out the Patreon, check out the Discord, check out the channel, check out the videos, check out the comedy, check out the humor, check out the dual brain, check out each and everything that we're doing here. I want to thank you guys for joining me in the morning where we talk stocks, Magic the Gathering, shop talk, finance, the movers and the shakers, and what's going on in the world of Magic the Gathering. If you don't like tracking the prices of Magic cards, let me do it for you. This is Brody. Check it out. Bye-bye.
You